Hello, hello, my friend. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for signing up for this free offering. Today, I am excited, super excited to talk about one of my favorite topics. If you know me well, you know that I am in love with retreats. This is something that I'm super passionate about. And today, we're going to be talking about how to build a community ready to buy your retreats. If running a retreat is something that you are dreaming about, or if you have run a retreat in the past and the bookings didn't work as you expected, I know this presentation that I prepared today, it's going to be super, super helpful for you. So here are a couple of things that I like you to be aware of. The first thing is that you should have access for today. It's a worksheet for today's session. This is a worksheet that you can find. And basically, I created this just to keep things so that you have a place where to put into action those steps that you are going to be learning today so that it doesn't remain everything in the air, so to speak. You have a place to come back to. And I also have included some links at the end that are going to be helpful for you and they are connected to the next steps that you will need to take after this presentation. That's one thing. And then the second thing, the other thing that I want to share with you, which I am super excited about this, is this presentation. There you go. I created this presentation for you. We're gonna dive right in. How to build a community ready to buy your retreat. Why are you here? This is the first question that I've got for you. You want to sell out your retreat without feeling like you are chasing people or shouting into the void. Or you plan to lead a retreat in the future and would like to start right now by building a community that are going to be ready to buy. Or maybe you plan a retreat in the past, but your retreat resulted in little to no bookings and you want to make it better for the next time. If any of these sounds like you, my friend, I want you to know that you are in the right place. Yes, yes, yes. Here's what we are doing today. Today, you will learn the key steps to building a community that is not only engaged, but actually ready to buy your retreat. So if you're ready for this, my friend, let's go. Before we dive into the nitty gritty of today's presentation, I just want to quickly say three things about myself that you should know. If you are new to my world, I want you to know that my name is Manu. I'm originally from Spain, and I've been for over 15 years in my career in the retreat field. I was a yoga and movement facilitator for about 12 years. So I really know how to step on your shoes because if you are here, you're probably a yoga teacher, holistic practitioner, aspiring retreat leader, and I know what it means. And finally, the third thing that I like you to know about me is that I am passionate about marketing and messaging. And I think I feel so passionate about marketing and messaging because for me, marketing and messaging, it's all about communication and having that ability or developing that ability to really be able to communicate the value of what you have to offer to the world, which I know, my friend, what you have to offer to the world, it has a huge value. And I want you to be able to show that to the world. Here are some images that I wanted to share with you. From my career, from over 15 years, mainly in the retreat industry, in some places like Thailand, Italy. These images that I'm sharing with you here, the ones on the top are actually from my first retreat back in 2016 at Samahita Retreat, an amazing place in Thailand where I've been running most of my retreats and where I'm planning to also run a bootcamp this year in 2025. And down here, you can see this was just pre-COVID, 2019, 2020. Some of my other retreats, they were more oriented towards fitness and yoga. And I also have some sold out experiences. Something that you also should know about me is that early 2022 and until late 2023, after working as a retreat consultant for an amazing brand, Six Senses, which is one of the top wellness luxury brands, they offered me a contract as retreats director in Ibiza. And we got an amazing time. I created the department all from the ground up, and we got amazing transformational retreats with people like Marisa Peer, Mark Hyman, Taryn Toomey from the class. In the almost a couple of years that this stage of my career lasted, we got to create amazing experiences. And yes, my friend, making the euro, making the dollar, making the money, because at the end of the day, retreats are profitable. Over the last year and after I finished my work at Six Senses Ibiza, since then, I've been also working especially with retreat leaders, retreat facilitators, and I've been helping them, supporting them to fill up their retreats, to organize their retreats. I'm gonna say that you may see all of this and you might think like, wow, oh my God, this is, he knows everything about retreat. He's always been knowing everything about retreats. But actually, I'm gonna tell you that this is not the reality. I didn't always know how to do this. And I've also struggled in the past with launching retreats where no one signed up. This also happened to me as well. But there was a point when I realized that there was a missing piece that I was missing. I figured out that there was something that I was missing. And this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And this missing piece is building a community that is aligned and ready to buy your retreat. I would also like to mention that retreats are booming. And I wanted to pull up this link from one of the articles that I recently read. This was in 2024 by Forbes. And they say that the global wellness tourism industry continues to grow and is predicted to be worth around $1.4 trillion in 2027. Those, my friends, are amazing. So either you are a retreat leader or an aspiring retreat leader, you should know this, my friend, because that means that there is a lot of opportunity. Because I work with both retreat leaders, but also with retreat brands that sometimes they are hotels, I know that this is something that hotels are investing in over the last few years. So that means that the money is there, my friend. However, I also want to tell you the reality that I've been observing over the last few years is that for many retreat leaders, the reality is different. Why the reality is different? Because there are mistakes that retreat leaders do and aspiring retreat leaders do, and that prevents them from having that thriving business. So let's dive into what are those biggest mistakes retreat leaders are doing right now, those biggest mistakes retreat leaders make. And number one is selling your retreat before building trust. You probably have heard this before. What I've seen is that many retreat leaders announce their retreat either on social media, on the marketing retreat websites. They put it out there. It requires a lot of work to create all of the landing page, all of the material. They put it out there, they cross their fingers and hope that people will sign up. But here is the truth bomb, my friend. If you haven't nurtured your community first, these people are not going to be ready to buy. I know this might sound a little bit harsh, but my friend, this is the real truth. The second mistake that I see is that many retreat leaders are speaking to everyone with the experience that they have created, and at the end, they are reaching no one. So here is the thing. You have created an experience and you didn't have anyone in mind. When you created the retreat experience, this is something that in your creative lab, in your mind, you thought this was going to be an amazing experience for people that are going to be landing in your page, for people that are going to find you on social media. But actually, you didn't have an idea, you didn't have a clear idea of who those people are. This is something that you should be aware from 2025 and beyond. If you are marketing to anyone who loves yoga, you are actually marketing to no one. Your message, my friend, this is something that I speak all the time about and I emphasize a lot is that your message has to be very specific. And when you are putting a retreat out there, your retreat and all of the marketing behind your retreat has to be specific and to speak to the exact transformation your retreat is offering. Remember, a retreat, it's all about a transformation. It's a transformative experience. So you want to be super, super clear with that. This is going to be the only way in which your retreat is going to cut it through the noise. And the third mistakes that I want to share with you today is something that I've seen many retreats leaders do, and this is relying only on social media and or yoga websites. Let's talk a little bit about social media. What I'd like you to know is that Instagram posts alone won't fill your retreat unless you have a super, super warm community that is going to be ready to buy anything that you put out there and they don't need any more information. But for the majority of us, it doesn't work that way. This is how we always work with my clients via my mentorship program. You need a strategic mix of platforms that guide people from interested to committed. Social media are fantastic. They are amazing. I use them for my business. But the problem with social media is that if you only rely on social media, you're going to be at the mercy of the algorithms. When it comes to the yoga websites, and you know what those yoga websites are, bookyogaretreats.com, retreats.com. Of course, I also use those websites to market my retreats. They're going to take a commission, but that's fine with me. But the problems with these websites is that there are hundreds of other retreats that are there also competing for attention. So it's not about really putting something on social media on the websites and thinking that magically you're going to have people coming to you, because the reality is that this is not going to work. So what should you do instead? Okay, let's see the step by step what you should be doing. Here are the three pillars building a community ready to buy. Let's dive in, my friend. The first thing that I want you to know is that you need to clarify your core message. Why this is important? Your community, they really need to know exactly what you stand for. Who are you as a retreat leader? Who your retreat is for, and what transformation you are providing. Especially when we market our retreat online, this is going to be the thing that is going to help you cut through the noise. Being very clear, being very specific, talking about who you are and why you are the right person for that retreat. So the next thing I'd like you to do is to take your worksheet, and you can pause this video now, or maybe you can do this later when you watch this video again and take your time. The first thing that I like you to do is to create a clear sentence that goes something along these lines. I help specific person achieve a specific transformation through your method. And you use your method here, whether that's yin yoga, whether that crystal healing, whether that is star seeds, whatever that is. You're going to create that phrase that is going to help people understand who your retreat is for and what they are going to get out of it. This is a great start, my friend, and this is something I would recommend that you start working on. Let's go to the next step, and this is the step number 2, and this is about strategizing your channels. Remember how I told you that if you are only relying on social media, it's going to be very difficult to transform those people from those who are interested to those who are committed. So here is why this part is super important. If you are only relying on social media, you are missing the bigger picture, my friend. You need people to stay connected with you at a deeper level. Like, for example, an email list, and this is my number 1 favorite, and I left a resource for you. If you don't have an email list, this is something that you should start working right now. But I've also noticed from my clients that sometimes WhatsApp groups could be very effective, as well, of course, as in-person connections. All of them are channels and communities to which you can communicate the retreat that you have. But remember, before step number 2, it's super important that you dive into step number 1 and make it super clear who your retreat is for and what transformation they are going to achieve once they join your retreat. So what I like you to do here in step number 2 is to pick 2 or 3 channels that feel natural to you. For example, you could use Instagram for visibility, emails for deeper conversations, and live workshops for trust building. Okay, this is something that I just give you as an example, but I like you to work on your worksheet and just put some ideas there of how this could work for you, because each and every business is different and each and every person is different. So you need to find that thing that works specifically for you. Let's go to number 3, my friend. And here we are talking about creating an offering that speaks to your community. And again, this is another place where I see many retreat leaders make that mistake of creating an offering that doesn't really resonate or doesn't really speak to their community. Why this is important? If your retreat feels generic, people won't feel called to join. But when it feels designed specifically for them, they won't want to miss it, my friend. Here's the actionable tip for this step before launching. Before launching your retreat, ask your community what they actually need. You can run a poll, you can have casual chats with your people, you can send WhatsApp messages, whatever that is, have an idea of what is that thing that they want. For example, instead of creating a generic yoga and wellness retreat or reset and renew retreat, try to change your mindset here and create a retreat that sounds something like a retreat for busy entrepreneurs who need a digital detox and a mindset reset. You see what I'm talking about? That is more specific because here you are talking about who are those people you want to attract for your retreat and what's the transformation that they're going to be getting after your retreat. So remember, your retreat needs to speak to your community. But before all of that, remember, go from step 1, step 2, and step 3. Step number 1, it's all about clarifying your message. My friend, the moment I'm recording this is 2025. There is so much online. So if you want to cut through the noise of that online, whether this is Instagram, whether this is LinkedIn, whether this is Facebook, whatever that is, you need to have crystal clear clarity. And step number 1 is going to help you with that. So remember, my friend, just to recap everything that we have been seeing today, to build a community ready to buy your retreat, you need to, number 1, clarify your message. Number 2, choose the right channels to build that community. And number 3, create an offering that deeply resonates and speaks to that specific community. I hope this was helpful, my friend. Before we go, I also want to let you know that I do have a bonus content for you, and you can find the link in your worksheet. And this is a killer PDF that I prepared, which is called Marketing and Sales Fundamentals for Retreat Leaders. And in there, you have things that you really need to know in your retreat promotion. So as I said, you can find the link in your workbook. You can just sign up and you will receive this right away. And that's all that I have for you today, my friend. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, please drop me a note at yoga.biz.mentor on Instagram or just send me an email to manu@yogabizmentor.com. I always love to connect with you in person. And if you need some extra support, I also invite you to visit my website, yogabizmentor.com, where you have a lot of resources like my podcast. You also have a blog, and there are also other resources for you to dig in. My friend, that's all that I wanted to share with you for today. Again, let me know if this was helpful and really happy to be here with you. Take care. Bye bye.